People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on. And we're back. It's Friday. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Hope this week's been great for you and your loved ones. Obviously, I hope you have a great weekend. And I hope every week, day, minute, hour is filled with prosperity if you're, watching this in 2026. So, yeah, big up yourselves. Now, club football is back. Not quite league football, although Middlesbrough did quite well in the championship, but Arsenal travelled to Southampton. You've got Liverpool against Manchester City. Where we're concerned, we know the last time we watched our football club, we lost a cup final. We've had to sit in that kind of stench and that feeling for a while now. End of the day, we have to get on with it, innit? We've got 3 opportunities to bring home silverware. Everybody wants us to get over the line if you're concerned with Arsenal in the 7 games. Champions League, let's just take care of business against Sporting and see how far we go. And obviously the FA Cup, we don't want our journey to end now. And I want to ask you lot as well. Obviously, we have had a bit of rest. Players have been brought back from the international break, even though there has been injuries and whatnot. Do we go strong or do we rotate? And depending on where you're at, can we even afford to quote unquote rotate? Because just say randomly, like random names, let's just say Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, people want them kind of rested up for Tuesday's game against Sporting. They're surely going to have to play some part. And, we're in a period now where the boys on the pitch have to get it done. The manager, whether it's rotating and playing the strongest team, everyone's got to earn their money now, innit? We're at the tail end of the season. So, yeah. And you've had Gabriel Jesus doing the media rounds during this off break. He'd like to have been off with Brazil. PSG have been linked with Martinelli. We're linked with Garcia of Real Madrid. And we're also linked with Morgan Rodgers. We know we're not getting him, but I would love him. You don't know how much of a fan I am of Morgan Rodgers, but you need 100-odd million quid, man. Yo, DG, big up Smoky Settings. Barca open to selling Ferran Torres to fund a Julian Alvarez move. Would you take him to start left wing? No. Admittedly, I don't think Ferran Torres is the worst of player. When he left England to go to Barcelona, he's in decent form. He can play across the front 3 or 4, if you argue that. I don't think he's a bad player, but it's another mixed bag, my boy. Like, I'm not even trying to discredit the players, yeah, but I would look at him the same way I would look at if we bought Noni, like when Noni came into the club, or Kai, and that, you're a good player. And if we did sign him today, yeah, me, you, and everyone in this chat, what's the conversation we'll have? This will be the first line, innit? If Mikel Arteta can, I kind of want to get away from that. Unless you're some 19-year-old from Brazil or in the lower leagues, then I'm on that. I don't really want fairly polished, unpolished diamonds. And I think when I look at our attack, I don't think any of them are bad players, if I'm completely honest with you. But it doesn't surprise you if they do and don't score, and we don't really know what we're getting. And if, beyond the obvious reasons, because I know I say this a lot, for us to go from a good team to a great team, if we break down the team into 3 units, we know our defensive ethos. So from Gyökeres all the way to Raya is great. Our defense, mustard. Midfield, not quite as mustard, but Zubi's cool. Rice is cool. We'd love to see MLS get some minutes in midfield. The same goes for Norgard. I'm not saying people want to see it, but we can get away on occasion with a Marino or a Kai. I think I speak for everyone when we want to send them in. Now, if you look at the attacking unit, you could include or not include Odegaard and obviously Eze. Odegaard's season's been up and down. It's not quite the 2022-23 season. He's had good periods. He's had worse. Eze's finally finding his feet and taking his chances, but we still don't really know what he kind of looks like long term. It sucks that he got injured when he started to find his form. Gyökeres, we kind of know what we're getting. Saka's form's been poor, but we know we kind of know what we're getting. Trossard, Jesus, Martinelli, Noni. Noni's a decent player, but numbers, we don't know what we're getting. We always know we're going to score goals, but who is going to score goals? And it doesn't shock me if Martinelli and Trossard score goals. It doesn't shock me if they don't. So I don't really want another one of those players, man. Sell Martinelli now if that rumor is true. To be fair, he will look a lot better in France, if I'm honest, man. What's good and what did Jesus say? We'll get into all of that. DG, why Arsenal players talk so much recently in the media? It's annoying. To be fair, I do like players speaking. Like, I'm not a fan of the whole the football media landscape, whether you throw in YouTube and traditional media, it's just rage bait, sound clips, let's just find the most extreme fans, extreme conversations on social media and get them all in the room. Side note, I have enjoyed Carl Walker's interview with Gary Neville, and I've watched little snippets of it. Hakimi, Mbappe, Chouameni, I think it was in France. They were talking about like Messi, Neymar, racism, the national team, their transfers. I do enjoy that kind of stuff. So players should speak, but Jesus is too much chatting. Happy belated to Jesus, by the way. Kay, appreciate you. Trouble, come on. I'm good, my guy. I'm good, my guy. Don't forget to hit the like, as my man Rob is saying. Appreciate you lot. And tomorrow we've got 2 watch-alongs. We will be watching Manchester City, Liverpool together. And we're obviously going to watch Southampton against Arsenal. Swear the Martinelli rumours to PSG. Not going to lie. He would cook with their attacking football. PSG would play. But it would be true is sell Bacola because they need a low backup. Not sure what you're saying there, my boy. Big up Stylish in the car. Chelsea dishing out sanctions for players saying they want out. Enzo Fernandez is on his knees, innit? Like, he's gagging on it. Like, oh, my wife likes Madrid. I like Madrid. This, that, and the third. And Cucurella slightly for Barcelona, but not as extreme as Enzo. I mean, Enzo never got sanctioned for those antics. Let's pull it like that for Argentina. But yeah, it is what it is. Me personally, I did think Liam Rosner did that because he is a senior player and it does leave a sour taste in the mouth, whether he's right or wrong. If I'm a Chelsea footballer, you should be disillusioned with life under the new ownership, quote unquote new ownership. It's been there a few years. It's not quite the Chelsea we saw of the early 2000s. It has been a frustrating season. When I read between the lines and I look at Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez, it seems like they're kind of peed off that Maresca got sacked. But despite all of that, not everything is your fault, but you've played a part in the season. And when it's all going a bit mad like Chelsea is, and they're trying to, as a minimum, win it, get through in the qualify for the Champions League, I should say, and salvage their season in whatever capacity, especially as a senior player, probably one of the top earners, a record money signing, and probably on a 10-year contract. It don't look good, in it. So I hear it. And to be fair, maybe Liam Rosner didn't even want to suspend him for 2 games. But if you've just gone into that club and you're Liam Rosner, you have to make a statement in it, because if you let Enzo get away with it, especially when, like, if your form was crazy, then it is what it is. But if you let him get away with it, what's the other millions of players? Literally, Chelsea have millions of players. What's the other millions of players going to say? Better yet, appreciate you, Smokey, man. Why are we telling Jesus to shush? We're going to get into it. Just cool, man. Come on, man. You got to get a title. You don't really have to shush, but he just shush, bro. So, yeah, let me share the screen. Let's crack on and get into things, people. Probably going to be here for about half an hour or so. It's Friday. I don't want to bore you lot. My screen will share. Well, that's actually a podcast I was listening to, so that's irrelevant. As I said, happy birthday to Gabriel Jesus. 29. Madness, isn't it? Jesus is scoring against Southampton tomorrow. I really don't believe that, but I think when they wrapped up one year, when City wrapped up the Premier League, I'm sure he scored against Southampton. So maybe lightning could strike twice. Important question. Is Mikel Arteta cursed? We've got 7 games to go. We're still licking our wounds, obviously, of not winning the final. Here's one player of the month, manager apologies of the month. Some of you might be thinking, what am I talking about? Some of you get it. It adds to the fairy tale, but for what it's worth, our gaffer, we got Superman Arteta, has been crowned Premier League Manager of the Month after guiding us to the division's only 100% record in March. The manager, or better yet, the boss, was deemed the most worthy recipient by a panel of experts and supporters, edging out competition from Eddie Howe, David Moyes, Regis Leblanc, the Southampton guy, Sunderland Don, and Fabian the Pussy at Brighton. It's the first time the boss has won the divisional award since February 2024, and he's the 8th, and it's his 8th since becoming our boss in 2019. Only 5 managers in Ferguson, Wenger, Pep, Moyes, and Klopp, have more. So yeah, man, it was nice to beat Brighton, nice to deal with Chelsea and Everton. Big up Max Dalman for Everton in particular. Yeah, it is what it is, but we're just interested in the Premier League. Now, you would have seen the training pictures came out today, and, people do play a bit of a game, but Arsenal players not photographed in training today: Piero Hincapié, Gabriel Magalhaes, Jurriën Timber, Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Eze, Saka, Trossard, Noni Madueke. Now, if why, what the hell does the team look like if a couple of those names ain't even on the bench? People, we're gonna have to see what the gaffers had to say. Sadiq, one love, man. Greetings to you, review tribe as well. Danny, appreciate you. So yeah, man, what do we make of that, really? And I'm looking forward to seeing Miles Lewis-Skelly. You know what? I think you might get shagged and play left back just so we can flirt with some options in midfield. But I'd love for Miles Lewis-Skelly to start, full stop, and play in midfield. Max Dowman is defo starting tomorrow. We need that, and hopefully he scores and whatnot. So yeah, man, it is what it is. DG, would you rather buy Buardi or Sandro Tonali? We're linked with both. I like Buardi from what I've seen. What do you think? If I have my youth cap on, Buardi, because I do think he's going to be a very good midfielder in the future and he's doing his thing. But if we're really trying to do this right now mode thing and assuming by God's grace we win the Premier League, we're trying to retain it, we're trying to win trophies, it's probably got to be a Tonali thing. It's right now mode, in it. Like you're ready to go right now. Of course, you can always improve. Everyone's got weaknesses, but you're fairly rounded. Off topic, but what's your thoughts on Italy not quite qualifying for the World Cup for the third time? What would you blame it on? In my opinion, it's them relying on their history, similar to United relying on Fergie past. I don't know about relying on their past, but if you've missed the last 3 World Cups, something's fundamentally wrong with the managers you're picking, with the way you're integrating new talent, with your selection, and just the overall kind of stuff around Italian football. I've heard everything. There's too many foreign players in the academy systems. There's too many foreign players in the league. What is going on? Like, you'd have to speak to someone. It's got to be a bit of everything. You'd have to speak to someone with more knowledge on it, but it's got to be everything, really. Because on paper, fair enough, it's not Totti and all that and Cannavaro and all those lists, but they still got some bloody good players to pick from. MLS should start midfield. I'm with you, man. But at this point, I just love to see him on the pitch. Should we see the Gaffer's press conference? Mikel's update on Nkapie, Madueke, and Eze. On the topic of Mikel Arteta, I think 8 p.m. I've got a video coming out where I've kind of offered my thoughts on should Mikel Arteta or be given or not given a new deal. So yeah, make sure you're there for that one. When we're done here, we'll take you over there, man. So yeah, Mikel Arteta has provided an update of our fitness on the fitness of our first team squad ahead of our return from international duty. Specifically, what has he said? No, it's not serious, huh? It looks really bad. Noni was really worried, especially after what happened to him in his other knee a few weeks ago. He was out for 6 weeks last time, but no, he's nowhere near that injury. So that's really good news. Well, that's positive because what happened to Noni playing for England is what we kind of all mentally prepare for as Arsenal fans when our players put on their country's jerseys to get injured. So, yeah, clearly, what we kind of speculated, maybe we just tried to stabilize the knee. That's why he was in a brace. And it's just a kind of swelling thing. Stranger things have happened, but you'd imagine where Noni's concerned, Southampton is probably coming too soon for him. Outside chance of Southampton probably resumes his season for the Brighton game next week, innit? What's he said on Eze? Ebbs is out. Well, we knew that was the case. And you got to bear in mind, Arteta, like all managers, are liars, innit? Some of these injuries might be more serious than he's giving on, vice versa of that. He always plays a blinder. He makes you believe certain players are not going to be involved, then they're involved. They're going to be involved, then they're not. Every now and again, he answers questions specifically. I don't know. As we've probably been saying since August, or we definitely have on this platform, at this point, we just wait until an hour before kickoff. Whoever's in the starting lineup on the bench, that's how we maneuver, and that's where we move from. But on Eze, who last time we saw him, he scored a cracking finish, man. And it sucks. It happens to all footballers. But I remember Gyökeres's first knock. He finally was finding his feet, getting a bit of motion. Bang, he's gone again. Eze, that's happened. That's definitely happened to 1-2. Calafiori even, his first injury around February, I want to say. So, yeah, I don't know, man. With Ebbs, I cannot put a finger on a time frame there because I don't know, because he's a special character. He then spoke on something else. What has he said on Odegaard and Timber? Those are in contention to possibly be in the squad. Yes, we have a very good relationship and communication with most of the national teams, especially with Thomas Tuchel. We have been extremely supportive all the time. And when you have to communicate the state and the moment of every player, we're always very honest. And in the end, it's a medical decision that has to be made. And that was clear. And that's what the conclusion was. Fair play. What has Mikel said in totality? He's obviously, proud to win the manager of the month. We don't need any more inspiration. What we need is titles. I don't care about that. We have gone over that. On the benefits of resting key players for countries as well as clubs. I think when a player is fit and available to play, they have to play. I think it makes us so proud that we have that many players in the national team. And the players are desperate to play in the national team. We know how important every time that they are together and the time they spend in preparation means to them. So we're fully supportive of that. And when we can do it, we'll do it. He then said, "You will see, I will continue the speculation so you can do it and you can judge it afterwards. If I say I was right, or you have to maybe change and delete and write something else." So yeah, he's fully on banter with the press conference and press officers today, innit? Only if you address players ahead of the big Champions League night. We're in a position now that we're going to make the strongest lineups and decisions that we possibly can to win every competition. We are 2 or 3 games away in the FA Cup, and we know how important that competition is for us. We have gone over the Noni stuff, the Eze stuff, the Martin Odegaard and Jurin Timber stuff. On if the goalkeeper tomorrow will be Spanish and have a name that ends in an A. Maybe I need to write them down. I'm dyslexic, but doesn't Raya end with an A? Kepa ends with an A. Maybe even Kepa's full name, like Kepa, I could never pronounce it. Aspililaga. I tried, in it. Smash the like button. I tried. And they're both Spanish, but maybe that was said in a little jokey tone. But he said, "I think tomorrow the goalkeeper is going to be European. He's under 32, right-footed, and speaks at least 2 languages." Okay, so he's matched foolishness with foolishness. On the FA Cup, huge competition, so related to the history of our football club. I mean, you've won it as a manager and twice as a player. Yeah, twice. Yeah, you weren't there when we beat Chelsea, but you was definitely there when we beat Villa. I was there at Wembley. You was definitely there for Fulham, and you obviously won it, a couple of years ago as a gaffer. We're going to play a team that is in a really good moment. They have won so many games recently. Yeah, man, Southampton have turned their season around. They're actually defending a lot better. They're scoring a lot of goals. You throw in the fact that St. Mary's, you throw in the fact that, it don't look good if you lost a cup final, then you go and lose. We need to build momentum. We've got it all to play for. Magic of the FA Cup. We have to put our best foot forward. They're in a really good moment. You know the expectations, the crowd, the environment that they're going to create. And it's a tiny pitch, Southampton. So we're ready for that. We want to be at Wembley again. So tomorrow we have the opportunity to do that again. On having a lot to contend with against an informed Southampton who won the FA Cup 50 years ago. That's the magic of the FA Cup, that every scenario, every context, every game has a history. This one is a special one, and we're ready to face that tomorrow. Listen, no one don't care about the kits. On if we look at our previous trips to Southampton, I mean, 2022-23 season comes to mind. We're going to look at that. On what we learned from our run of 16 wins out of 18 at the end of the 23-24 season. Yes, we look back at those things and the things that we did, the things that we can work on. But again, it's a different group. We're in a different position as well in certain competitions compared to that year, because there we were just talking about a certain competition. But yes, we'll try to do what we believe is the right thing, what the team needs to give us the best chance to win every game. On if Piero's injury was a serious one, yes, it was. Well, so we got to wrap Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Skelly and Cotton Wool. And you know what? Ben White as well, because we're not that far away from considering Timber going to left back and Ben White at right back at some points. On if he knows how long he'll be out for, no. And muscular injury, that's definitely a couple of weeks, man. And you're getting to that point where I'm not, listen, who am I? I'm just a fan in it, but you do kind of think, could your season be over? Because if you're out for a month or so now, you're missing it all in it. So it is what it is. The most boss power move Pep made in a career when he said, let the football talk, when he was against Mourinho's Madrid, because he couldn't run these mind games in the media. Here be Arteta, he's still talking too much in the presser. Just get the results. It's enough. Smash the like button. Man are saying it's waffle. Ms. Fit, appreciate you. I wonder if players improve their games in the off-season nowadays. I think they're always trying to improve all the time, but it takes forever to learn good habits and bad habits. And I know you're not saying this, but I do think for an individual player and a collective player, if you fast forward to the end of the season, start the next one, a lot of football fans have this, I don't know what it is, but you just think that these players go off for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like on pre-season, and everything that they need to improve, it all happens. It don't work like that, innit, really and truly. DG, could Saka ever develop into a 4 skills winger, because the 3 starting he's getting clamped every time he needs to get in his bag? I think Saka just got to get his confidence back and everything else falls into place, man, if I'm honest with you. And he's pulled this from 17, 18, he's put this club on his back. So I'll never turn my back on Bukayo. And he's due a bad season. The last 4 years, this is his first stinky one, but he's going to have to get out of it, really. I think it's just a confidence thing. I think we're owed this as well, because he's been so amazing for a minute. I mean, you're never gonna, if you're not a Skillers, you're never gonna be a Skillers, isn't it? Really and truly, what Saka needs to, Saka is more likely to be like Mo Salah than he is to be like Man United's Cristiano Ronaldo, if that makes sense. Just make yourself a role. But I do think people are a bit disingenuous and say Saka ain't entertaining on his day and all of that jazz. But there's been a lot of games. He hasn't got goals and assists enough this season, but there's been a lot of games where he's actually played well without getting that. In this last patch, he's been woeful. So just get back to it, Saka, man. We're with you all the way. On Ben White's booze during his England involvement, the volume was down, so I could not hear that. Gaffer's a liar. I could just see a big smile on his face and the way he came back from the national team and the good thing that he was telling about everybody, about the group, about the meetings they had, about Thomas and everyone. And to be fair, Thomas Tuchel and the players of England, they backed White, innit? So that's great to hear because when you send a player to the national team, you really want to bring back a better player, a player that is happy, a player that is available and fit. That was certainly Ben's case. And where I look at Kai Havertz and Benjamin White, I think you lot needed the football. Bit like Miles, well, yes, like Miles Lewis-Skelly as well. Go get some minutes in the legs. On Calafiori not qualifying with Italy, tried to lift him. I think for Ricky, I think for Italy, I think for football, a country like them with such passion, such history to not be in a World Cup is tough. I know that it's good for football, but that shows you as well the difficulty of going through all those phases to earn the right to be in the competition. Maybe I bust too many jokes, but if I'm Mikel Arteta, I would literally say to Calafiori, I ain't ever played in a World Cup in my life. I'm still alive. I'm all right. You're tough, right? Bro, you're one of the youngest in the squad. You'll get there. And it's deeper than you clearly. Like Italy, a powerhouse, have not qualified for the last 3 years. And one thing that annoys me, I'm going off on a tangent here, people, but one thing that annoys me is we know football's for the people, right? Or if you're here, football's for the people. I don't care your race, your religion, your color, your background, your social, economic stance. It's for the people, innit? We know with TV rights and TV license and how much it costs to watch games, whether physically or traveling around the world or on TV, it's gone from the people. But people always say it's a people's game, yeah? And then they want to, Italy don't qualify, in which, I'm sorry, they've got to hold that. They were goal up against Bosnia and they fucked up. They shouldn't have even, the very fact that they're in a position where they're relying on the playoffs, that tells you everything. As somebody pointed out, this is now the third competition of a third edition of a World Cup. You're not there. And there's so you had two negative experiences to get this right. One thing I hate is this like even Andy Goldstein on TalkSport, he's chatting bare shit. He's relating it to golf and previous winners qualify. What the hell is this? Football's for the people. Everyone's gonna take this dumb view of Italy, they've won the World Cup. It don't what sense does it make having Congo, Carousel, this one and that one? It's the World Cup for one. It's not Europe. People are, relating Congo, Bosnia 20 places below them. And for some people, just to see their country's flags, to see their countrymen, to actually go to a game if they've got the pennies, to go to them games and be around that, that is what this fucking thing's about. Everyone loves a fairy tale until it's certain individuals or certain regions of this world. But yeah, dickheads are going to be dickheads. Half these people don't even believe half the bullshit that's coming out their mouth. I understand there's engagement and BS, but I would say to Andy Goldstein, I always do my research. I'm 31. And I've got more common sense than you. You look good for your age. You're 52, bro. Stop chatting shit. But anyways, relating this back to the press conference on Gyökeres, yes, and especially the importance of those goals. I can imagine how much it means for him to get his country over the line and retired Lewandowski, shameless. And the position they were in to be able to not play in the World Cup. He was full of energy and confidence. That's great. I'd love to be inside the dressing room at Arsenal because quite a few of you could go, isn't it? Like I'd be giving Calafiori banter, like invite him into who's going. I'd make a group chat on WhatsApp, World Cup 2026, invite him, then kick him out. You just imagine, like, Eze's got to be chatting shit to each other. Like, the England lads, Saka, Rice, Madueke, Ben, all the English lads, the Spanish lads, the 1-2 Brazilians that got a chance. Jesus, I don't think you're rolling. Odegaard even, Havertz, Gyökeres. It must be, obviously, you don't need to focus on winning some shit with Arsenal first and foremost, but I just wonder how that is. But yeah, big up Gyökeres for what he did, man. And I won't quite say it's a confidence thing because, when it was looking dark earlier in the season for Gyökeres, if that happened with Sweden, I'd more kind of play on that. But I think you look mentally prepared. I think you and Saliba, if I'm honest, you were the only two players I think turned up in the final. You look psychologically like, yeah, I'm an Arsenal player, is what it is. Understanding the system, you're getting some goals. So I already think your confidence is quite high. But doing what you did for your country and whatnot, it might give you more confidence because strikers always want to score goals, and you know that you could have a great season with Arsenal. You win what you need to win here. You represent your country. When was the last time Sweden were in the World Cup? You're going and doing your thing, and we can rewrite history with Gyökeres. He ended Sporting Lisbon's drought for a title. He helped end ours, and he got his country to the World Cup and won Puskas. History is only written by the winners. You win this, I will do my job in whatever I can to push the PR for Arsenal people. But yeah, man, on wanting to show that our League Cup final defeat hasn't had a knock-on effect. I mean, you just need to win games, innit? When you didn't manage to win that final, I think what you have to take on board is how this is going to make us stronger for the final push of the season. Manager, you're not wrong. I hear that, but we're past that now, bro. Like, how much hurt do you need? The various Champions League exits, the various, under you, and granted, not all of the players have been there, but we know what it feels like to miss out on top four. We know what the high of beating Real Madrid and going out to PSG means. Every season before this, we've fallen short, and there's got to have been some point in the last 3 years in the Premier League where it's really over. You can't win the league. And all the cup competitions, all this. Listen, as long as you're alive, you've got something in it, and it's the L's in life that make you stronger, but we're past that. And me as a fan, I'm past hearing about that. It's not wrong. Dead. Like, just get over the line now. If this was 2 years ago or something, I still probably wouldn't hear it, but it'd be worth more to me. Dead. I don't want to hear that now. I really don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That has been the mindset. That has been all the work that we have done in the last few days to use that as fuel, as tools to be able to get to the final push that we want and achieve what we want. Yes, immediately I could sense that, and the way we looked at ourselves and the things that we could have done better and how the game could shift at that level from first half and second half, that's something we need to manage better. And again, this is going to make us better. I'm sure that we have to use it for the most important and beautiful part of the season. Again, manager, you're not wrong. But you see, if I didn't know that this is attributed to the League Cup final, them statements, word for word, I'm probably sure that if I go through your press conferences throughout the years, man, I said that before. Like, me personally, I'm past that, innit? I don't want to hear that. Just go win some shit, man. It is what it is. On if he's worried about Saka's statistics this season, I'm certain of that. I spoke to him, and again, everyone is going to remember what we've done in the last part of the season. And in this final push of 8 weeks, what we're going to deliver individually, that is now how we can impact what we've done in October and November. It's irrelevant. It's done. It's about now and how we prepare ourselves to give the best chance to win what we want. Listen, Bukayo, Odegaard, there's bare men that have been shit compared to their standards. Like, let's be honest. Like, on one hand, we've been maneuvering. Yeah, disappointment in the League Cup final, but we've been maneuvering. We've been nitpicking. We've still been picking up points. We haven't had that many lows. Granted, the final was the lowest. I would love us to be walking this league. Saka's got bare goals, bare assists. There was, Eze hit the ground running, no injuries for Odegaard, everything smooth. That's not how life works. This might not be your best individual season, but this could be your greatest season as a collective group of boys. Like, I obviously, if I'm Saka in this one and that one, we win the Premier League. I know when the dust settles and improvements, I want to get goals and assists. Who gives a fuck? Because there's been seasons you man have got bare goals and done bare things and we're empty-handed. The collective comes first. Get over the line now. Now, if Saka, Havertz, and I'm really looking at my attackers in this last 8 stretches now, because it's about time you lot pulled this club forward. Trossard, first half of the season compared to now. I don't think Mikel is going to show me what I need to see in the final third. I don't think a lot of the things that we nitpick with these players and the gaffer is going to change. Get over the line. Whoever wants to go in the purple patch of form, do it. Because Gabriel Jesus, 9 times out of 10 at City, you was getting football. You weren't really doing much. It got to this tail end of the season. This is when I used to see you at City make a difference. He's not here anymore, but even Zinchenko, and there's probably some other examples. I don't want to hear nothing other than winning shit now. Pardon my French. But yeah, man, it is what it is with Saka, man. You're still my guy, still world-class, still deserves his P's. I'm not going to lie, I'm vexed with you the final, though, because I did say it. I thought, you know what? It's not that it was last chance saloon, but it was last chance saloon. I thought, surely Sacks. Whether we win, lose, or draw, you're going to stand up to be kind. It was meaty. I can forgive it, but it was meaty. Boy. Yeah. Ideally, you play a game the next day, and when you have an international break, sometimes it's not exactly what you want, but use it in the right way. We had a lot of work done, analysed what we've been doing, not only in that one, but in the last 120 days. Gaffer, I'll be honest, you should be doing that anyways. Don't really move me. The amount of games that we play, our winning ratio, the things that we have accomplished. I know what you mean by that, but devil's advocate, what have we accomplished? I know you're a good team. All the more points than Invincibles, more goals, all them statistics come out and reflect that we're a good team. It's now, we've known that for 3 years. We shot ourselves in the foot last year. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot the year before. We've shot ourselves in the foot several times this season, but generally we've been doing what needs to be done. It's now about becoming a great team. A great team gets to a final, wins it. A great team wins the league. A great team goes down in Arsenal folklore. You lot could potentially win the first title of the Emirates era, which we hope kickstarts some more stuff, monkey off your back. I don't like looking into the future. I only really like dealing with the present. But I think even Jesus had an interview. He's like, the first one at City was the most difficult. You get it? So that's all we want to hear about, man. I don't want to hear about none of that. You should be doing that anyways. And I'm not discrediting the manager, but you're going to be doing that anyways. You need to be looking in the past. That is not going to help me. Big up, Michael. Unexpected high bills for those. Let's run up the likes, people. Vamos, come on, you gunners. Michael, you're always here. Rob, appreciate you. Off topic, but precisely, what a madman. A moment of madness can lead to lifetime consequences, bro. And your mentality is still that street shit, like, bro. And you got negative people around you, like your dad, bro. If his dad's a stand-up dude, his dad's got to take the charge, man. Like that's the breadwinner. If he goes this long, I did find it funny though, like when they said Big 30 was holding the door, and then I see someone put on Twitter, they're using him as a doorstop. It's disappointing, man, because you don't know I bang up P Shiesty and Big 30 every day, man, but. Soon home. Saka scammed us for 300k a week. If he knew he was done physically, why did he sign? Man, get out of here, bro. Even if he did, bro, I've been playing left back, making the difference for this football team, bro. Run me my fucking bread. Saka could do no wrong. Put some more money on that. How did he scam us? Did he put a gun to Berta, Mikel Arteta, Josh Kroenke, and all of these guys' heads? Less said that, man. Less said that. Big up yourself, Jay. Appreciate you. I can only fight them if they start saying racist ish now when they're talking ball. The ball is talking, Saka. Show us the thing, brother. Why they give you 300 bags? Wasn't Pusheisty on Gucci's 10-17 label? Technically not. The collective must win. Individuals need to step up when needed. 2 out of 2, Italy appointed a guy who thinks like that as their head coach for the national team. No wonder they failed. Gattuso embarrassed himself. A guy who played at the highest level, begging for World Cup qualifying to be gifted to Italy by eliminating an African country instead of earning your spot. But what does that tell you? They like your rhythm, but not your blues. They look down on it. Come on, bro. You know they look down on football in Africa. Every football mirror society, they look down on everything African. They're going to look down on the African teams. They're going to think that they're doing them a favor rather than control what you need to control. When Iceland qualify for the Euros, it's always, it's so romantic. It's this, it's that. See what I'm saying? Everyone says football's for the people until it's time to start doing some elitist bullshit. And last time I checked, who actually, because they said about Africa, like the qualifying spaces should be cut. Who's got the most qualifying spots when it comes to the World Cup? Who's got it? Thoughts on Enzo's band? Covered that, man. But big bollocks from Liam Rosen, isn't it? New players, apologies, got experience, new pain, it's the process. There's always going to be highs and lows, bro. Pep's won it all, bro. There's been bare L's, bro. He's got to a Champions League final and lost. There's been, bro, you go through these moments, bro. I genuinely think Man United don't do what they did in 1999 if Arsenal didn't do what they did in the year before. So on and so forth. Martinelli plus 40 million equals Cara. Josh signs the... Yeah, you're dreaming, man. You're dreaming. DG, wait, you're 31. I know you're Mr. April, but I thought your birthday was later this month. Did I say I was 31? I'm 31 on the 13th of April, so that is just about 2 weeks. Oh, I don't really like my birthday. No show with Rants today. Never had time, man. Literally, I've just got in, bro. Back again next week. DG's a villain. He's one of them, man, that invites man into the group chat just to kick them out. Yeah, 100%. I'm a bastard. Just joined your stream, DG. How are you, brother? Levon, I'm great, man. I hope you're doing well and safe as well. Bart, hope you're doing well and safe, even though you're a twat. Yeah, bro, I'll tell you something about that. Man said I turned the volume down. Capping. Absolute capping, man. Absolute capping. 10 days. Yeah, he's still on the 1070. Bro, even that, why it's done with Pusheisty, bro. Like, you know you're making Gucci, man, allegedly sign that under duress, which makes it void. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm disappointed with you, Gucci, if you write statements and shit. Like, I am. I don't really believe internet nonsense, but I genuinely think you're a clone, man, if I'm honest, man. It's a disgrace that I'm not a mod, the ops favorite op. You know what? It actually is. It actually is. Pick a shit team to support, but you pick a good content creator. Let me change that. With great power comes great responsibility. Make sure you're making people hit the like button. Focus. Big up Deluded. I'm very concerned about tomorrow's game. I'm worried that the cup final could unravel the season. Along with injuries, we need a win quickly to resurge our season. So it's 100% a valid claim, bro. Because if we don't win, obviously we've had a couple of weeks to chill off. You're out of 2 competitions. People start doing maths. Oh shit, what's that going to do for Sporting? Let alone Bournemouth. Let alone the Man City game. At the end of the day, we can't feel sorry for ourselves. Man, them have to win. That's why I don't really subscribe to this rotation stuff. And I also don't subscribe to the rotation stuff now because how the hell do you rotate? The biggest thing for me is, does he play Raya? I think he's going to play Raya. I mean, Gabriel and Saliba weren't in training. Like, we saw the names of people that were not in training. I very much doubt, we still got it. I very much doubt all of these guys are not involved in it. Maybe it's precautionary. I don't know. It's one where you genuinely wish you knew the gaffer. But if all of them are out, we're in trouble. Obviously, even if some of them are back and they're on the bench, some of them will have to start. Some of them will have to be on the bench and come on. Like, it is what it is. I just know I want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly. I want to see Max Dowman. I have a hunch that Gabriel Jesus starts up front. Surely Benjamin White's good to get some minutes. Mascara's there. I personally think he's going to go with Kepa. Me personally, big up yourself, Kepa. But I'm trying to see Raya in every game from now to the end of the season. I still maintain it's a cop-out to just purely blame Raya for that final. I really do. I think apart from that mistake, he weren't bad. Obviously, goals, moments change games. I actually think Kepa tried as best as he could within his limitations to play with the ball at his feet. Arteta should have went with Raya because Raya could have made a mistake. Raya's mistake in that City game is more likely to be. Do you remember? Was it last season or the season before when Raya passed it? He tried to find Partey and Spurs intercepted and scores. He's more likely to make that mistake. So yeah, I thought we had the deepest squad in Europe. But then I have never subscribed to all of that, but we're gonna have to show it now, innit? And to be honest, I don't care. There's silverware. Cup finals gone. It will burn. I ain't seen us win that competition. We lost one in 1993. I'm born in 95. You win the FA Cup, you win the Premier League, or just the Prem. If you want to do a treble, great. We can still be vexed, but we're having a celebration, innit? So do what needs to be done. I badly want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly. But yeah, let's crack on. I don't believe, for what it's worth, Arsenal are going to get Morgan Rodgers, but the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. I'd love to. And my unpopular opinion, like, for me, I'd like to see Morgan Rodgers played in midfield, like one of the three positions that Zubimendi, Odegaard typically, and Declan Rice occupy. But you see him play on the left. Obviously, a lot of dominoes need to fall for you to even consider getting my man in it. He's going to be big money, and in terms of, you know, the wages, it's going to be big money, as it should be. It's going to be big money in terms of the fee. That's before you quantify. We need to move a lot of these guys on, like potentially Ben White, Jesus, Havertz, Marino, Trossard, Odegaard. These are the names that are going to be linked. But you see, when we're linked with, I do think we'll sign an out-and-out left winger, but for argument's sake, you see when we're linked with Nico Williams, Rafa Leao, Anthony Gordon, insert other left winger here, people. It's not that they're bad players or you don't believe in them. It's like, you don't really know. If we genuinely got bread for them, and there's an option and there's a willingness and from all parties, from Aston Villa, Morgan Rodgers and Arsenal to get it done, I'd rather just say, forget them, man. Just get Morgan Rodgers, slap him on the left, man. We'll figure that stuff out. But the money that's left over, go Brazil or Serbia, just go find some unknown guy that can do this, bro. Just go and find someone. Because I know it's not the same, and it's definitely a shit example, but Martinelli was bought for 5-6 million quid. At some point, he's become our starting left winger. So scouts, go and do your job, man. I'm interested in Nico Williams. I could never say no. I know you shouldn't do things with emotion, but you've messed people about too much. I just don't. I'm past that. I don't care how good you are. Like, just safe, man. Go away, man. Tuchel not impressed with Morgan Rodgers. You reckon? I think he's a shoo-in for England. Morgan Rodgers would be open to leaving Aston Villa for one of the Premier League's biggest hitters this summer. Me personally, I think he goes Chelsea. Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal are all long-standing admirers of the 23-year-old who looks a shoo-in for Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad. Didn't he just sign a new deal recently? And you know what? When you look at Morgan Rodgers, Adam Walton, Elliot Anderson, Anthony Gordon, if I haven't made that clear, them kind of players, I know they're not all playing the same position. I just automatically think if you're not prepared to go to around 100 million max, then there's no point talking about it, whether they're worth it or not, if I'm honest with you. Man United are also in the mix for a player who will be in high demand at the end of the season. Be a great signing for them. Rodgers penned a 6-year deal last November, but that has not forced his suitors into retreat. Sun Sport has learned that Rodgers wants to be part of a team that is consistently pushing to win major trophies. Okay, you said pushing. We're pushing. We hope we win, but we are pushing. There is also an understanding between Rodgers and Villa bosses that this summer is probably the right time to part ways. Villa are still under financial constraint, and Rodgers is their most valuable player. If they slide out of the top 5 and miss out of the Champions League revenue next season, keeping hold of their prize asset will be near on impossible. but Rodgers could still depart even if Villa hold on. The attacking midfielder has a healthy relationship with Una Emre and other Villa Park higher-ups and hopes they will not stand in his way if the right offer comes in. What is the right offer? He's played 31 games, created 40 chances, got 8 goals, 5 assists, 30 shots on target, played 884 passes and been fouled 38 times. A deal for Rodgers is likely to exceed 80 million and could even surpass the 100 million. Obviously, City played for Grealish in 2021. We've gone over that. It looks like he will be going to the World Cup as well. Boy, Liverpool could throw the kitchen sink at him, owing to Salah going 2 different positions. But yeah, I think about it every day. Jesus admits he's dreaming of transfer to boyhood club. What have you said here, Jesus? Palmeiras. I follow it quite closely. My bond with Palmeiras has never been broken. Whenever I'm in Brazil, unfortunately, I always have my injuries, which I receive treatment for there. I always follow it very closely, and obviously, I dream of returning to play one day, not to end my career. I think about returning every day. My wife can attest to that. Summer, get it done then. He's made just 2 starts in the Premier League this season as well, people. It does look like he'll be moved on. He's linked with a bunch of clubs. He's been linked with Atletico Madrid, as has Martinelli. We've been linked with Kofan, the Leverkusen striker as well, people. Arsenal ready. Anthony Gordon bid as Arteta targets English core. Heard this before. Arsenal are planning to make a bid for the England start at the end of the season. Newcastle sources had previously indicated that the Magpies have no interest in selling Gordon this summer, but it's understood that St. James's Park will be willing to allow 2 or 3 players to leave. It doesn't mean 2 or 3 key players, so that doesn't necessarily mean Livramento, Lewis Hall, Sandro Tonali, Anthony Gordon, Bruno Gomares, the ones that are linked with moves. Unpopular opinion, my man, he's only just got there could leave, man. Waltmarder, it seems, started hot, and that's gone cold. Remember when they were saying he's better than Jokic? He'll probably play for Bayern Munich one day anyways. Arsenal plan to at least bid for Gordon is part of a broader strategy from the North London side to build more of an English core in the squad. Rodgers. This is part of their thinking behind moving for Gordon and also helps to maintain and explain their ongoing interest in Livramento. I mean, we know we got Eze, we know we got Saka, Rice. Noni's obviously been brought to the carpet. As I said, Newcastle look like they're planning 2 or 3 sales if you take this for gospel. Can't say I believe it. And we're looking at Gonzalo Garcia of Real Madrid. Apparently, we're working on a deal for such people. Really? Really? And we've also been linked with Tonali, Livramento, Esposito, and Rafael. If you didn't know, Julian Alvarez is looking like a myth. We have been linked with Nicola Tredozzi of Club Brugge. According to Spanish publication Finchales, I tried, who claimed that Arteta's side were already working on the financial details of a possible swoop. It's understood Arsenal are likely to offload Gabriel Jesus on a permanent deal to help fund the move for the Real Madrid attacker. To fund the move for this guy, or just to get the wages and the outlay that we have to give Jesus gone. Don't really think it's a case of 2 + 2 = 4 with Garcia and Jesus. But yeah, and he's also been linked via this article with Newcastle. He has previously been linked with Aston Villa. I wouldn't mind it though. 2 strikers in the side. Why not? I don't know where you lot have been this week, but if you've missed it, I got you covered. Eric De Polo, who's Christian Kofane's agent, Arsenal's interest is genuine. Mikel Arteta likes him very much. There's contact between me and Arsenal, but their focus right now is to win the league. From there, everything will start moving. I think it's too early to say which club is leading the race, but due to the fact that the player speaks Spanish like Arteta and that William Saliba is originally from Cameroon, I would say Arsenal are in pole position. He's a 100 million euros player. With Kofan, Arsenal will have a top striker for the next 10 years. I mean, if your client was genuinely on the move to one of the biggest clubs in the world, would you be chatting like that? PSG have reportedly made contact for Martinelli, and he's not the only Arsenal forward who could be on the move this summer. According to French source Media Foot, it's not L'Equipe though, is it? PSG have entered the race for Martinelli by making inquiry about his potential availability. Luis Enrique's side are seeking a world-class forward this summer, and Julian Alvarez is their main target. This news will alert Arsenal and Chelsea, who are both trying to bring Alvarez back to the Premier League. The report claims that PSG see left winger Martinelli as another world-class potential signing if they miss out on Alvarez. They have previously been linked with William Saliba, and they're now being linked with Martinelli, who apparently Atletico Madrid are also interested in, not just him, but his fellow teammate for club and country, Gabriel Jesus. We provided an update that Arsenal are willing to sell him for 50 million. In addition to Atletico, the Brazilian wide man is picking up interest from Dortmund, Leipzig, Marseille, and El Nasser. Jesus, meanwhile, was up for sale for 30 million. I'll be amazed if an injury-prone striker with 2 starts in the Premier League on 200 odd grand a week with a year left from the summer, and in the summer with a year left, if Arsenal are genuinely going to get 30 million, do I think if it was just based on ability, 100%, but all things considered, I'll be amazed. And that's now where I'm looking at Berta to work his magic. Ben White, Norgard, lewis-skelly are other candidates to leave Arsenal in the next transfer window. It emerged earlier on Friday that Manchester United made an inquiry for lewis-skelly, who is keen on a transfer to pick up more game time. Do we believe this? Do we don't? Gabriel Jesus names Arsenal star who can do everything and makes title claim. It's got to be Max Diamond, surely. Very confident, very confident. We're in a good place and we have an amazing squad. Not just the players who play most of the games, but the whole squad. I believe 100% that this is the season we are doing something. Always speaking about Declan Rice. He's the type of player who can do everything. When he arrived at the club, I asked him to me, When he arrived at the club, I asked him to me a favor, and that was to shoot every time you get the opportunity. Those moments can decide the game, and his shooting quality is amazing. But he's the type of guy who can do everything. He can defend, he can create, he can shoot. He's an amazing player. He's different from Rodgers because Declan is playing as a number 8. Now I compare him a little bit with Fernandinho. Fernandinho defended better than him, but I think. But Declan gets forward. We call him the horse because when he gets going, you just can't stop him. He's an amazing man, really amazing. Look at his character as well. He was born to be a leader. I really appreciate him as a person, as a player. Okay, you know what, Jesus? You can keep talking. You can keep talking. I apologize. He's very good, very good. Jesus said of Saka, people don't realize how good he is. He's the type of player who needs the ball. You're not going to see him dribble past 5 players and then score. Careful, your manager disagrees because he's always picking up the ball on fucking halfway line. He has that quality, but that's not his main style. But he can get past you and put the ball in the top corner. He can win you a game or a trophy because he's that good. He could have won us a trophy. Last time he was at Wembley, but it's all good. When asked about Saka, Rafinha, and Vinicius, he's at the same table. They're all the same. Obviously, we're talking about different styles, but they all have that quality and can do things in one moment. You still need to win trophies, but he's there. All right, fair enough, Gabriel Jesus. Fair enough. Benjamin White is being linked with Newcastle. Apparently, Ben White is drawing big admirers from Newcastle, and Eddie Howe's a massive fan. It could only be the injuries and the wages, man, because you might be able to get a cheaper competition for timber per se. Gabriel Jesus explains cause of Gunner's title shortfalls as potential fix revealed. Hope we're not going to reiterate the same things. After the first one, it was easy, There was a mix of 10 or more players at City who were very experienced, more than 32 years of age, but they all said, okay, I want it. Today at Arsenal, it's more young players. Obviously, they've never won the Premier League before, but it's coming, I hope, and then everything will change. Jesus, go Italy, man. You'll bag goals for fun there. We win the first Premier League, then everything will be much easier because the pressure is still there. The club, Mikel, deserves it a lot because it's not easy to be in charge of this project after 3 years being second. Imagine his head, and the players, the staff, all 3 times in this period. Let's say February to the end of the season, it stays on our heads. The other day, we drew against Wolves, and then obviously, with all my respect, they're bottom of the table. We are top. We should win this game. And then we draw. We start to think it's something that Mikel is very helpful with the team on areas Arsenal could improve. The players need to talk more, take more ownership. He passes the tactics, but on the pitch, it's on us to take chances, be free. Obviously, it's not easy, but I think it's more down to the players than the coach. I apologize for telling you to keep quiet. I think that's something I've been saying all the time. I think you're bang on the money with that. On one hand, yes, you're listening to the tactics, but protagonists. There's obviously been other occasions. I think Newcastle away in the first part of the season, but the first time where I've seen the tactics, the preparation, and the balance of that, and players standing up to be counted, it's got to be Rice against Real Madrid. Where, the set piece coach said, pull it in the box. But I'm going for goal here. Even the other day, I think he did an interview with Thierry Henry. And he's saying, his thought process was, bro, I need to shoot. It's a semi-final. I need to get the fans then going. I need to make Courtois make a save. The best players do that. We've said this before. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, the list of these kind of managers go on. I always think, obviously, the players' ability and these managers and what they've done makes the difference. But I always think there's got to be times throughout a 38-game season where the players are playing shit. Maybe the manager's tactics has got them out of it, and vice versa. The manager's tactics have been shit. The players get them out of there, and that's what should happen. If I'm a fullback, right? If my keeper makes a mistake, cool, it happens, innit? Let's get him out of trouble. I might make a mistake. To get man out of trouble, innit? Like, do you get it? You make a mistake one week, you might win the team the game the next week. I don't know if that applies to Kepa, but you get the point, innit? So you know what? Jesus, talking facts. Just make sure you cut from the club. And it kills me to say that every time I hear this. Have you subbed to the channel? We're pushing for 75k. Rob, you're far too kind. Also, if you've subbed, have you considered becoming a member if you're able? Arsenal must win the Premier League minimum to attract Carrot Skeeler, bro. We're not getting Carrot Skeeler, bro. Man, have to just get over that. We're not getting that. If Garcia wants to leave, the price will be around 100 mil. We will never put in a bid without Cara telling us he wants to leave PSG. Then PSG have no choice but to compromise. Unhappy players is a problem. Get me Luis Enrique, then go get me Dembele, Valverde, Tonali, Dubravka, Alvarez, Sel Martinelli, Marino, Odegaard, Havertz, and Hazy. You're living a movie, man. That ain't all happening in a couple of months. Big up yourself, though, man. How many players would truly lift the levels that aren't already at Madrid buying already? It's hard to get those guys without the promise of medals. It's true, and you are right, but they've got to start somewhere, innit? Obviously, a couple man have come from La Masia and that, but at some point, Bayern had to attract these players. Manchester City, the same. Like, Rodgers wasn't always, a winner. They bought him when he was at Villarreal and Atletico. Granted, he might have won stuff. Salah wasn't always a winner per se. I know he was there when Chelsea won stuff, but if I just say random names, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, they've all had to start somewhere and assemble that. You've got to start somewhere, surely. Before Michael Phelps obviously won what he won in the Olympic swimming, he had to take his first swimming lesson, no? It's got to start somewhere. And then we're not a club that's going to, assuming it was as white and black as this, 100 million on Carrot Skeeler, 100 million on Rodgers, even though Rodgers ain't got the pedigree of that in that regards. We're not going to do that. So you either be prepared to sit at the big boy table like that, or you make them it. And I do think the players have got to take responsibility. That is not to say the gaffer, by no means, because you need to, man. What kind of lineup are you looking to see tomorrow? Jagan, I don't know, man, because who the hell is fit? I think he's going to start Kepa in goal, but if it's up to me, Raya, what's going on with Calafiori and Hincapié? Raya in goal. Ben White right back. Mascara right-sided centre-half. Gabriel, if you're fit, give me 45 minutes. Calafiori, if you're fit, give me 45 minutes. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Declan Rice. No. Do you get Norgard in there? No. I don't know, man. I reckon he's going to play Lewis-Skelly center, left back. If it's up to me, what did I say? Let me start again. Ryo, Ben White right back, Mascara, Gabriel, if you're fit, it's 45 to an hour, man, please. The same goes for Calafiori, even though I think it's going to be Miles Lewis-Skelly. Norgard, Havertz, Rice. Lewis-Skelly left back, fuck it. Jesus up front. Max Dowman on the right. Fuck it, Martinelli got on the left, man. Even though I really, really want Lewis-Skelly midfield, man. DJ, man, start that idiot Kepa. Get out of here with that, man. Where's Marcel and Warren? They got to learn this guy, the ropes. This guy's funny. Announce these are not. Starting somewhere that is buying potential, not the finished product. Quite different things. So do that. Because I've also been very vocal on you've got to go and find the Kevin De Bruyne when he's at Wolfsburg, or the Gundogan when he's at Dortmund, or the Rodri whether he's at Villarreal or Atletico Madrid, or the Sadio Mane. Because then what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Clearly, what we're doing right now isn't necessarily working. Saka's come from the academy, great. Martinelli was sourced to a degree. He's done his thing. All right. You have sat at the big boy table to a degree. You went and got on paper one of the hottest strikers in Gyökeres. We know how good Eze is. You managed to find X amount for Kai Havertz. Are we trying to find solutions or do the excuses thing? So either you make sure you find it, the scouting is spot on. Bearing in mind who knows if Julian Brandt signed for Liverpool, he might have been better than Mohamed Salah. But everybody knows how the story went. Klopp wanted Julian Brandt. Those above said, nah, listen, Salah is going to work. The rest is history. So what are we going to do? There's always a reason, or we're just going to be sat in here thinking of excuses. I'm not asking us to drop their bag, but we've got resources. We've got scouts. We've got them. We've got scouts. We've got Berta with the negotiating stuff. We're obviously a competitive club, one of the biggest in this land and in the world. I'm not saying we are the best. Clearly, the attraction of London to a family, again, you have to consider that. Wages, you will get a healthy wage packet. Do what you want with that. Well, what are we going to do? We're just going to keep saying the same things. Top new DJ and Romario video here. All right, big up Romario. Make sure you're following Romario Webster's channel. On that note, though, man, we're just shy of an hour. There's no point boring you lot. Tomorrow we will be back again because we're going to watch Man City Liverpool, and then in the evening we're obviously going to watch Southampton Arsenal. Make sure you check out the interview I did with, or it's not really an interview, it's my brethren, with Art de Roche. 8 p.m. Should Mikel Arteta be given a new contract? See my thoughts. Go and leave a comment there, people. So I've always got you lot sorted, and I'd like to think I've done a good job keeping you lot entertained during the international break. But yeah, man, happy new month, the best month of the year in April. If you haven't been here, and obviously stay safe, stay fresh, enjoy your Friday, stay blessed as well, and I'll link up with you lot tomorrow, man. Peace.